There's a special kind of pride that you feel deep down inside, a strength that seems to thrive in Lima Allen County.
The American way of life, to get in gear and do what's right.
An unbreakable forthright link called Real American Strength. Lima Allen County, Real American Strength.
Forever moving forward without forgetting where we've been.
Creativity meets technology, where possibilities never end.
Ohio's strong Midwestern know-how, exploring innovative ideas.
Deep rooted but always growing, ever proud of where we live. Lima Allen County, Real American Strength.
Keeping you up to date with what's happening in your community. Community Focus on GTV2.
Thanks for joining us today on Community Focus. I'm Anne Decker. When I was younger, one of my favorite books was The Secret Garden, and Encore Theatre is bringing it to life in July. They've turned it into a musical, and it sounds like it's going to be a fabulous show. Julie Kerr is here today to tell us all about it.
Yes, the music is wonderful. It's worth it just for that. There's a lot of dissonance in the songs, and then when they take that out and everything harmonizes, it sounds so much better for that comparison, that drastic change. It's really very moving.
For those who aren't familiar with either the book or the musical, you want to fill us in on the story?
Yes, it features a well-to-do family from England. There's a rift in the family, and some of the family members moved to India, and they raise a little girl there. Well, then there's a cholera outbreak, and everyone in the household dies except for the little girl. And she's found by some soldiers who help make sure that she gets to England, to where her surviving family is. Her mother's sister lives up in England, or at least did. She had, due to an accident, she'd passed away. And the rest of the family members are devastated without her. So it's kind of gloomy to a start, where this orphan moves into a sad household, and she hears someone crying in the home, and she's not sure who it is. She finally tracks it down, finds out it's her cousin, who's about her age. When his mother passed away, she had just given birth and put him in the arms of the father, and then she died. So it's been a long time for the family to grieve, and they have to work through those situations, and we find out that this woman loved the garden at this home, and that becomes a point where they can grow back together.
The Secret Garden.
The Secret Garden.
It sounds like a bit of a downer. Is there any uplifting part to it?
Oh yes, there are the caretakers of the garden and the grounds of the home are very upbeat people. They counter the gloom with their happy songs about, oh, you want to go out and play on the moors because you never know what you're going to find out there. There might be trolls, there might be pirates, you never know. And then there's the secret garden where the bird helps find you the way, and one of the fellows, he will dance a jig for us, and they really bring a lot of sunshine to it to help this young girl Mary find her way and find the garden, and she ends up bringing the whole family together, and there's a wonderful ending. A little bit of a spoiler, there's happiness at the end.
Thank goodness.
They find the garden, and they forgive each other, they forgive themselves for things that have gone wrong in the past, and they come together as a family.
It is a wonderful feel-good story.
Yes. The show stealer is, in the family there are these two brothers who both loved the woman who went to the garden, and they sing a song about her in Lily's eyes. It is a gorgeous song. We would, the cast so far just enjoys sitting there and listening to Sean Stevens and Jeff Kerr sing this beautiful, beautiful duet.
Well, I've heard that the show is worth seeing just for this one song.
Yes. Yes.
Who else is in the cast?
We have, Sean Stevens is the hunchback, who is the father. He and his brother's played by Jeff Kerr. Sean's son, Colin Craven, is played by Ben Welker. And Mary, who is from India, she is played by Natalie Patrick, who you may remember from White Christmas. She was the general's granddaughter. She is just loving the show. And Lily, who was originally there at the Secret Garden, she's played by Debbie Briggs.
Okay, and you are?
And I am the fakir.
Which is?
I was in India with the family, serving with the family. It's kind of a religious affiliated character, spiritual guide. We give up all of our possessions and try to focus more on spiritual matters. So when the cholera outbreak hits, I help put protection over Mary so that she survives. And then after we pass away, we follow Mary, not as ghosts quite, but more as she remembers us. And we sort of watch over her in our own way. And
it sounds moving. When are the dates for the performance?
The performances are the weekend of July 13th and July 20th, with the Friday and evening performances at 8 and Sunday matinees at 2.
Do you recommend getting tickets ahead of time, or can we buy them at the door?
You can buy them at the door, but if you want to get the best seats, you're better off ordering quickly.
And how do they do that?
They can call 419-223-8866, or you can order online at amiltellers.org. That's AMIL tellers.org.
Which is Lima backwards.
Yes. We're also available on Facebook now.
That's great.
I don't think you can order tickets through the Facebook page, but it's nice to pop in. You can keep an eye on upcoming events, ask questions about how you can get involved, and even keep an eye out for audition dates for the next show, which is Of Mice and Men, directed by George Dunster.
Oh, wonderful. That'll be coming up, what, in the fall? Or later this summer?
Yes, I believe performances for that will be in September.
Okay. Well, that would be a great show to get involved in.
Yeah.
I know we see the same old Encore Theatre faces time and time again, which is wonderful.
There are some new faces.
But it's great to see new faces, and if you want to get involved in theater, what a great opportunity.
Yes, and if you'd wondered before, don't hesitate to ask either on Facebook, or a good time to stop by is at auditions, so you can talk to the director firsthand.
Okay. How much are tickets?
Tickets are for adults $16, for senior citizens age 62 and over it's $14, and for youth ages high school and under it's $11.
Okay, and the dates for the performance again?
July 13th, that weekend, and the following weekend of July 20th.
Great, well, we'll see you there. It sounds like a wonderful show.
Thank you, I hope you enjoy.
You're welcome, thanks for coming in. Julie Kerr from Encore Theatre. I'm Anne Decker, and when we come back, we'll tell you about Lima's Department of Community Development, right after this on GTV2.
Oh, good. A family wants to live here. It's been so long since I've had kids in my bedrooms. Wait, what's wrong with them? I love kids. Well, you can't find anything wrong with them. They look nice and so polite. No, nobody's ever going to live in me if you keep turning people away.
Been denied housing? Call the Lima Allen Council on Community Affairs. Our fair housing services will look into the complaint at no cost to you.
Lima City Council has recently amended the city's vicious dog ordinance to deal with potential problems concerning dangerous dogs in the public.
The ordinance is comprehensive. However, here are some key elements that all dog owners and their neighbors should be aware of.
Any dog that is considered a breed of pit bull is considered a vicious dog regardless of its temperament.
A vicious dog is any dog that attacks, bites, or causes injury to a person or domestic animal with or without provocation.
Not under control of the owner, and secure with a muzzle and a leash of 6 feet or less in length, all vicious dogs must be confined when outside in a pen with a secured top and bottom, or with the sides of the pen embedded at least 1 foot deep into the ground.
If you're a dog owner and have concerns about any dogs in your neighborhood, visit limapolicedepartment.com to find out more about the city's vicious dog ordinance.
The fine for non-compliance is $150 per citation, and ignorance of the law is not a defense.
If there's an emergency situation, call local law enforcement for immediate assistance.
A message from St. Rita's and the Komen Foundation. Breast cancer doesn't have to be a death sentence. I'm an 8-year survivor. Make sure you get a mammogram every year.
Did you know that if you have information about someone who's committed a crime or know of someone who is wanted by any law enforcement agency, you can call Crime Stoppers and possibly be eligible for a cash reward of up to $1,000. All callers remain anonymous. Make the call that pays. Call Crime Stoppers at 419-229-STOP.
Crime Stoppers! Crime Stoppers! Make the call and pays! Crime Stoppers!
Welcome back to Community Focus. I'm Anne Decker, and Amy Odum is joining us in the studio now. She is the director of Lima's Department of Community Development, and you are getting ready to start the Care Academy.
Yes, we are, Anne, and we're very excited about running this program for the 4th year through the City of Lima's Neighborhood Support Division. The Care Academy is actually an opportunity for citizens to become more engaged with the City of Lima and begin to understand all the different processes that run our community and the processes they can become engaged in. The Care Academy is a 10-week training session where at Tuesday nights from 5:30 to 8:30, up to 20 persons can be accepted into this citizens action group.
And what do they do? What do they learn?
The citizens in the Care Academy have an opportunity to meet one-on-one with the directors of each of the departments and also from related county and community departments to better understand the processes that affect their lives. It begins with a meeting with the president of council, who explains council function, then goes on to meeting with the mayor, who talks about the city administrative functions, but then meetings with the individual department heads, such as utilities, to better understand the challenges that the utilities department face through their water and sewer and garbage programs, the court system, so they can better understand how to interact with that, code enforcement, the police department, the fire department, and we also bring in regional planning to talk about the systems and the processes that they use to help plan transportation, parks, and pedestrian walkways in their area.
It sounds fascinating.
It really is, because what we get from this is each citizen who participates gets a planning book or a resource book, where as you participate in this program, not only do you learn, but you make a commitment. And that commitment is to take that information back to your neighborhood and basically act as a community resource specialist for your neighborhood association, for other community groups as well.
And then do you get these people coming back in the future? Do they provide feedback? Do they help solve problems for their groups?
Yes, they do, and that's what's really exciting, is that every 6 months we have an update where they're brought in, they're given new information as it's developed, the different brochures, the updates on programs and things happening in the community, and it's an opportunity to ask questions about what's going on with this current program, or I'm being asked questions about this, or who do I refer to. We have found this to be a really great program, not only for neighborhood associations, but for social service agencies, and we're getting a lot of involvement from young professionals and from business groups in the community who want to learn more about how they can engage and how systems work. We found it to be very positive from both ends.
How do people sign up?
All they need to do is contact the Department of Community Development by calling 419-221-5146 and ask for Connie Dersham, our neighborhood specialist, or ask for the Care Academy. We'll be accepting applications through August 6th, and up to 20 persons. It fills up very quickly, and we want to see an even broader group of people, not only from our neighborhood groups, but from churches, social service agencies, and businesses who really want to learn more about how their community works and how they can get engaged.
Well, it does sound like a tremendous resource, so we hope people give you a call and sign up.
Thank you.
You're welcome. As long as you're here, I know it hasn't rained in a while, and nothing seems to be growing but the weeds, and we need to keep them trimmed.
Since we're having a summertime conversation, it always turns to weeds, trash, grass in the city of Lima, and I appreciate the opportunity to have the reminder, Anne, is that the simple rule is if it's growing in your front yard, it's probably growing in your backyard, it's probably growing in any other property that you own, and if it's over 8 inches, it needs to be cut. If it doesn't, you may receive a notice from the City of Lima telling you that it is in violation. When you receive that notice, there is a civil penalty. It's much like a speeding ticket. At the time the violation is noted, you'll receive a notice, and it is actually a $350 fine.
Ouch.
The good news is if you take care of it yourself, much like if you pay a speeding ticket immediately after you get it, the fine remains very low. It's $50. But because it costs you, as a City of Lima taxpayer, to send someone else out to somebody else's property to have it monitored and maintained, there is a $50 fine. We're trying to make the persons who own those properties responsible and making that a user-based fee so the rest of the City of Lima and our citizens aren't paying for someone else's maintenance.
You know, and it costs less to hire the kid down the street to keep it mowed.
Absolutely, and we encourage people to do that. If you're having difficulty finding someone to mow your lawn, we suggest you contact your local neighborhood associations or even, again, contact neighborhood support. We'll try to connect you with some of the youth programs in town that may, we can't promise, but may be able to help you with your lawn maintenance duties.
Okay. Amy, give us the phone number if people have any more questions.
Again, for questions on the Care Academy or if you have questions about general code enforcement items, you can call the Department of Community Development at 419-221-5146.
Wonderful. Thank you for coming in today.
Thanks for having me, Ann.
Amy Odum from the City of Lima. I'm Anne Decker, and this is Community Focus on GTV2.